The moon hovered low in the sky, casting a pale glow over the cracked asphalt of the deserted basketball court. The echo of a bouncing ball was the only sound disturbing the quiet night in Chicago. The rusted hoop seemed to lean in anticipation, yearning for the days when the air was alive with the squeaks of sneakers and the laughter of children. But tonight, the only soul brave enough to face the lonely court was a young boy, his shadow stretching out before him like a silent cheerleader. The boy's name was Javon. His eyes were heavy with doubt, his shoulders slumped from the weight of his thoughts. The worn-out ball felt heavier than usual in his hands, a stark contrast to the nimbleness he usually displayed on the court. Each shot he took was a declaration of his dwindling hope. The ball would arc through the air, a silent prayer, only to be met with the unforgiving clang of the iron rim. He was on the cusp of giving up, his dreams of playing professionally shrinking with every failed attempt. Then, like a ghost from the shadows, Michael Jordan appeared. His legendary silhouette was unmistakable even in the half-light. He leaned against the chain-link fence, watching the boys' solitary game with a knowing gaze. The sound of his footsteps was as unassuming as the quiet authority that seemed to follow him wherever he went. Javon's heart skipped a beat when he heard the rustle of fabric and the creak of the fence as the man pushed himself off to approach. He looked up, his eyes widening in disbelief. "You've got potential," Jordan said, his voice deep and measured, "but you're letting your fear of failure get the best of you." Javon stared at the ground, the ball now a forgotten weight in his hands. "It's not fear," he mumbled. "It's reality. I'm just not good enough." Jordan chuckled, a sound that was both kind and knowing. "Let me tell you something, kid. I was once where you are, cut from my high school team." The revelation hung in the air like a deflated balloon, surprising in its suddenness. Javon looked up, curiosity piqued. "You?" he whispered, eyes wide with a mix of shock and a glimmer of hope. Jordan nodded. "Yeah, me. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. It made me work harder than I ever had before. It taught me that failure isn't the end, it's just the beginning of your next chapter." The conversation grew richer, the air around them thick with shared passion and unspoken understanding. Jordan spoke of his own struggles, of the countless hours he'd spent in gyms just like this one, pushing past the point of exhaustion. He talked about the drive that had fueled him to become the greatest of all time. Javon listened, his spirit slowly rekindling with every word. The retired superstar's eyes searched the boy's face, seeing a mirror of his younger self in the tired lines and the spark of determination that hadn't been entirely snuffed out. With a nod to the empty court, he suggested a simple game of one-on-one. Javon's heart raced. Playing against Michael Jordan, his idol, was a chance of a lifetime, a moment that could either crush him or lift him up. As they took their positions, the tension grew palpable, the air electric. Jordan took the ball and offered it to Javon. "You shoot first," he said with a wink. The boy took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment, and dribbled once, twice, 3 times. He squared up, took a shot, and watched as the ball arced gracefully towards the basket. For a moment, it seemed as though time had stopped. Then, with a gentle swish, the ball dropped through the net. The sound was like a symphony to Javon's ears, a sweet harmony of leather against nylon, the whisper of the net, and the promise of a new beginning. He looked at Jordan, whose smile was brighter than the stars above. In that instant, Javon realized that maybe, just maybe, he had more to give. The night was no longer about his failures, but about the possibility of his future. The game began, a dance of shadows and light, each player moving in rhythm with the bounce of the ball. Jordan played with a grace that defied his years, his movements a testament to the legend that he was. Yet he didn't overpower Javon. Instead, he pushed him, guiding him through the game with gentle nudges and strategic feints. They played until the moon had traveled across the sky, leaving the court bathed in a soft, ethereal glow. As the game went on, Jordan shared stories of his past, the endless drills, the tears shed in solitude, the moments of doubt that had once plagued him. He spoke of his mother's unwavering belief, his siblings' relentless teasing, and the fierce desire to prove them wrong that had fueled his early days. Each tale was a stepping stone for Javon, a bridge from despair to hope. Javon felt something shift within him, a spark that grew into a flame. With every shot he took, every move he made, he could feel the weight of his past failures lifting. Each time Jordan offered a piece of advice or a word of encouragement, it was like a balm to his bruised spirit. The rusty hoops seemed to gleam with a new light, and the cracked asphalt transformed into a path paved with potential. Finally, the game concluded with a dramatic buzzer beater from Javon. As the ball swished through the net, he felt a rush of elation unlike any he'd ever known. Jordan clapped him on the back, his eyes gleaming with pride. "You see," he said, his voice carrying the warmth of 1,000 victories. "You've got it in you, kid. Don't ever let anyone tell you differently." They sat on the sidelines, the silence between them a testament to the unspoken bond that had formed over the last few hours. Javon felt a newfound strength in his chest, a resolve that was as solid as the concrete beneath them. He knew what he had to do. He had to keep pushing, keep striving, keep believing. As the night grew colder and the moon began to dip below the horizon, Jordan stood and offered his hand to help Javon up. "Remember this night," he said. "Remember how you felt when you hit that last shot. That's what you're capable of. Don't give up on your dreams." Javon nodded, his grip firm. "I won't," he said, with a conviction that was music to Jordan's ears. With a final pat on the shoulder, the legend disappeared into the night, leaving behind a trail of shadows and a young boy whose heart was full of a fire that could not be quenched. The court was once again empty, but Javon knew he was not alone. The spirit of greatness had visited him, whispering the secrets of perseverance.